Hey, just another wonderful episode of Grabbing the Brisket here. We're one man down. We're not really sure what happened to John, but hey, best of luck to him and his family and his.
Can we just stop real quick and can we all say a different narrative of what we think happened to John?
John did not clean out his Traeger. The grease leaked out. He slipped on it, split his head open. He's in the emergency room right now.
That's your
your take. We're praying. That's the only thing that could have happened that he would not show up for.
You're like, and there have been prayer angels that we have on this, and
we're accepting donations. We have a GoFundMe for John.
What like hand emojis, like hand prayer emojis on lines everywhere. Ooh,
what happened to John?
I think maybe he had like an adverse reaction to like a legume or something like that. You know what I mean?
A legume?
Like you just wanted to say the word
I
legume.
did.
Yeah, say
he had some type of allergic reaction, so he might
to legume.
Correct.
Legume.
Yeah. He might be at the hospital.
He ate too much legume.
I can only imagine that. I mean,
okay.
What other excuse could it be for him not to be here? I don't know.
He's under allergic reaction.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, we haven't heard your excuse. Why is he not here, Jan?
So I had a different take on it. I don't necessarily think that John had a reason why he couldn't make it. I think he's just a product of the circumstances that he has in his life, right? And I start off with like, he woke up this morning, he stumped his toe. Right?
It's like a domino effect.
This is just one thing after another today.
He went in to make a little waffle for the kids and whatever. And
I don't want waffles, Dad.
I don't want waffles.
I wanted pancakes.
And then he burnt the pancakes, right? It's like, right? And then he left the towel on the stove and that caught on fire. And then he moved past that. And I don't know what happens in John's day, to be honest with you. I just feel like the case of the Mondays hitting.
On a Thursday.
On a Thursday. Okay. And this is John's life right now. John has to go to bed in order to like break the cycle of what's going to happen tomorrow. Because if he stays up, it's going to be the Mondays all over again. You know what I mean? That's I don't know.
Or do you think maybe it's like a groundhog thing? Like he wakes up again the next day and it just repeats the same day over and over again.
No, because we're too awesome for that, James.
Yeah.
And like I don't think that's even relevant in this conversation. I think John woke up, stumped his toe, and then immediately went to burn the bacon, and then he burned the pancakes, and then the towels, whatever, and he just had the worst day possible.
Right.
And he's like, all I want to do is go home, get in bed, and forget about today. And what I want to say to that is, if you didn't have bad days, you wouldn't know what a good day is.
I like that. So, very, very deep and thoughtful there. It's almost like the Ashton Kutcher movie, right?
Not sure about that, James.
The Butterfly Effect.
Never watched that.
Oh, I thought you were going to say, dude, where's my car?
Oh, no, Butterfly Effect. Yeah.
Bro, where's my... Hey, dude. Dude.
Or is John like in a bubble bath right now? It's like, what's that, like 80s,
Calgon?
90s? Yes.
Calgon, take me away. Yeah, I don't know.
Nah, it's not. Hey, we miss you, John.
John, bro, you need to send a picture of your proof of life right now. That's all I'm saying.
Prayers emojis going out to you, John. Right. Hey, this is Grabbing the Brisket podcast. Hey, thanks for joining in. Honestly, guys, hey, go slide over to our websites, thegrabbingbrisket.com. That lets you know where we're going to be, all our social medias, and all the fun and exciting products that we're out there sponsored by and represent some badass drum smokers with smokerbuilder.com. We'll hear from Frank here shortly when we get into Ask Frank. I know we got a couple of questions coming up for him.
We do.
How's everybody's week been?
No, hold on. Let's gloss over this real quick. Honestly, yeah, grabthebrisket.com, yes. There's a blog. Matt, I think you just put out your last post. What was your last post that you put out?
That was just recapping, like a quick recap of the Royal.
There it is.
But I'm going to start a new one that's going to be inflation grilling.
Okay.
And it's where I'm going to try to take like cheap cuts of things and make it worth eating.
That's it. It's like buying in bulk, or are you buying like cheap
bulk
cuts?
Or just cheap, like typically before inflation, I would buy ribeyes all the time.
Yeah.
I'm buying less
rich.
ribeyes nowadays.
I'm rich.
So
yeah. Okay.
So different like cuts of beef and stuff like that. So that's the plan.
And you're repurposing those right into different dishes.
Yeah. Whether I get a sous vide, a $3 steak to make it tender, I don't know. That's the kind of stuff I would be doing. So,
okay.
Yeah.
There it is.
Dude, love it. Magical. So
It's not that magical, James.
No, you caught me off guard. I think I had a thought in my mind before we went into that, but I was going to ask you, Matt, what happened to your thumb?
Oh, I cut the tip of my thumb off. I was chopping bell peppers. It wasn't
Is it
slicing
flat?
brisket, huh?
Is it flat? You made it
there's
flat?
there's a flap, and that includes my nail and the top part of my thumb.
Did
but
you-
I flapped it back
You put
over
it back on
and then
and
just
taped it up?
band-aided it
Yeah.
up. So
It'll be there tomorrow. Don't worry.
it looks gross and like it's gonna fall off, but it's on there for now. So
You just got to put the blood back there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Once you put the blood back into the system, it just lives. So good luck with that. Flat thumb. I don't know what
If
to
it
say.
starts smelling, then you
Yeah.
know something's wrong there.
Right. Just cut it off and cook it. Yeah, right.
Just a little necrosis never hurt anybody.
It'll be
so.
delicious tomorrow.
Struggle meal right there.
He's like, I got, what do you call it when you get real cold? I got
Frostbite.
frostbite. You're like, cut it off. You're like, put it in the skillet. Like, I sure does smell good. You know?
That's disgusting.
Yeah. I'm just saying.
Join us next week when we talk about Jeffrey Dahmers
Yeah.
and eating people. Let's jump right into the barbecue news. It's kind of new for me going because John usually handles this segment, but
He's
He's
so
about to be
solemn.
out of a job
Let's-
now.
You ever
Let's-
notice when John does it, he's so solemn about it? Like, all right, guys, we have that barbecue news. And
this
we're
is
gonna
not bag on
do
John
the barbecue
episode,
news.
all right?
No, we're bagging on John because John ain't here.
right.
Right? We can do what we want to do. We have cameras. Look at here. Look at here.
Yeah, there's solid proof going all the way around.
Look at there, guys. This is a studio.
Yeah, by the way, none of these videos are going to make it up live because John does all the editing and nothing is going to make it.
Can we give a big shout out to the Charlie Mike Studios, the Pearland Podcast Studios right here? Let's go. Hey, Ro, is your mic hot?
Oh, yeah. It's hot.
Let's go. He's right here. He's here to help us out. He's facilitating. We appreciate you, man. Seriously.
No, we appreciate you guys, man. I look forward to this every week.
Let's go.
All right, that news.
All right, so we got the barbecue news coming up. So the Blue Smoke Blaire event, January 19th through the 21st. He's got she's got a barbecue legends class going on. We got Al Fragoni, Bill Purvis of Chicken Fried Barbecue, Rashid Phillips, Eric Roby. They're featuring live fire cooking, reality TV cooking, rub making, competition cooking, and a whole lot more. So this is going to be
I'm sorry.
an exciting
Are we
event.
cooking anything?
I think we're there is
No. I got to cook something.
we're hands on for sure. We're going to be there.
Yeah, I have to cook something. We need to reach out to Erica because, like, I feel like I need this.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I need to throw down a little bit.
Well, I'm sure Erica is going to hear this, and John's definitely going to get in contact with her. So.
Let's go.
I mean, she did say that, and when John mentioned it, it's like, hey, we're there. We're down. We'll set up. We'll record. We're definitely going to have interviews with all the people that are out there involved with this. But she also said this is basically an all hands type deal, right? So nobody's standing around doing nothing.
No, I want to be involved.
Yeah.
I got some cool ideas right now and some cool dishes that I think we can execute. And one of them is coming off of the Houston cook-off where we're out at
Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo.
yeah, but I'm trying to think of the name of the team, and right now it's eluding me, and I can't say it because alcohol just plays effect in this, right? But it's Castro's team.
Houston.
Yeah, Houston. So they had a bone marrow.
I'm in.
It was
I'm in,
It was a
yeah.
bone marrow pasta that was like, I don't know, man. Like it wasn't a Parmesan. It was so I don't know what it was. It was so good, like, and I'm thinking about that. I'm like, I got to recreate that. I have to make my version of this. It was a really good dish. So I don't know, man. Like I may have some bone marrow. I may grill some out. I may make some pasta. Make a little something, you know.
Yeah, well, I definitely sounds like you need to try it sooner than January 19th.
Yeah,
Let's go ahead and
don't
bust
start
out.
that.
Yeah.
Don't start that for the first time there in front
Love
of
to give that a
Alfred
try.
Gillen
Oh, I
and
can do
everybody.
it. First time there, I could execute.
Okay,
Amazing.
do it.
It'll be
Don't
the
practice.
best.
Don't
It'll be the
practice.
best linguine pasta they ever had in their damn life. Okay, just saying.
Yeah, I know a place where we can get the bone marrow, and we can go over to Stone Cold Meats here in League City. Shout out to Perry Brooks over there.
Let's go.
Ran into him this past weekend and picked up some beautiful Wagyu
Skirt steak or
Wagyu
inside?
sirloin flaps,
Yeah, flaps.
which I mean, it's beautifully tendered
Is that the inside?
fajita. I'm not really sure. I got to do some research on where
There's the
where that's
outside and there
located
is
at.
the inside, right?
But it's a beautifully marbled piece of meat, and it's a resemblance of like skirt steak. So I don't know where that falls in line. I'll do some research, try to figure out. But super tender, and I'm telling you right now, dude, you can cook this. You can cook this well done, and it's tender and it's juicy. You're like, okay, we didn't cook it that way. I'm just saying for the folks out there, we did not cook it that way. We actually cooked it to a nice medium rare, and there were a few folks that were like, is that done? I mean, it was very very just soft.
It's dripping.
Oh yeah, I saw the picture you sent out, and you're like, "Hey, done or not?"
The texture
It
was
wasn't.
it wasn't chewy, but the texture was just very just melt in your mouth.
It was delicious.
Very rich meat flavor. So I'm definitely gonna, and Perry's the one over there to say, hey, this is what I'm gonna do tonight. You know, I was like, shit, throw me down for 2. So I'm definitely gonna go back and try it again. Also, we picked up the Thors hammer, the beef shank. So we got that in the freezer that we're going to thaw out here in a little bit and run that through the gambit as far as throwing it on Johnny and Jude.
No, so
and,
you're like tonight. Tonight you're pulling it out. It's happening tomorrow or Saturday.
I don't know if we're cooking
Right.
it this weekend.
Oh, you don't know?
Yeah, well, we got a lot of shit going on this weekend as far as like moving and what have you.
Okay.
It's still
Yeah.
frozen, so I think we do have a cook coming up where we're doing a catering for some bunch of briskets, and John's gonna bust out the Johnny and June pit. So I think we're gonna put it on there and just do a low smoke for a while. We'll wrap it up. We'll braise it with some liquids. We'll have this thing just falling apart like crazy, and just some tortillas and salsa and all that type of stuff, man.
I'm sorry
it's
now,
gonna be
man. I
delicious.
feel like this needs to go with like and maybe I'm wrong, right? You season it up really well, you smoke it, and then you get down to like a wrapping time. Maybe it's like around 180, 190 degrees. Like you don't want that much time, but we want probably an hour and a half of wrap time, right? And then you almost do like the French onion soup or French onion, like what do you call the it's like a
The au jus?
it's a French onion soup, right? Where it has the cheese on top and
that's just, French onion soup.
you break through, right? But it has like the onions, there's beef and right. Is there beef in there?
No.
Well, there should be, right? So I'm just saying, like, that's the thing I'm envisioning right now. If you could encase this thing and then put in some thinly sliced onion, maybe some soup packages, whatever it is, some water, and then let this thing braise inside of the packaging, right? Because the bone is just like, what is it, like a foot, right? You let that happen, but what you're really creating is like this badass roast, you know. I mean, because really, this is not going to be a brisket. This is not going to be a piece. It's not a steak. This is a piece of meat you got to render down, and it's got to be whatever, right? But the onion, the mushroom, all of that lends so much, the garlic, and let that infuse into it, and then, boom, dude, make these almost like these carne asada, right? These carne asada style tacos.
I know where you're. I mean, I see where
With
you're
some
going. I
cheese.
see where you're visioning, but I don't think that really blends well. At least not for me.
No, it does, dude.
Doing like a
this
roast.
bro over here doesn't even know what like carne asada even tastes like. Come on.
Okay, well, I'm just saying that's not what I envisioning this thing be. But we'll move past this and let's get into the. I hear what you're saying. The onion
Okay.
soup mix. It's very
Well, you
roasty.
can't-
Yeah.
No, it's not. It's delicious.
I say you treat it just like we do with a lot of other meats. Like when we first got our hands on tri-tip, we just cooked the tri-tip,
However
like,
you want.
Yeah, just like like we put it like a steak, then we
You know what
wrapped
the
it, and it came out freaking amazing.
You know what the first one we cooked was?
Huh.
We cooked it like a brisket.
Yeah,
we went
exactly.
to 203
We cooked it like a
degrees.
brisket.
Dude, it was not amazing. It was like, what the freak happened to this? Like, am I wrong with this?
No.
I just remember every tri-tip we've ever cooked tasting amazing.
Yeah,
and
well,
being
that's
super
because
tender. Maybe I missed the
That's
first
because
one.
we went through a
Maybe I
phase.
missed the first one, yeah.
We went through a phase of making them. We're like, well, this doesn't work. And then we started cooking like steaks. And there was like, holy shit, these things So that's a pro tip for you. If you're trying to cook a tri-tip, you're not cooking like a brisket. Everybody thinks it's like a brisket. It's not. Cook it like a steak. Get a good sear. And when I say good sear, I mean 700-degree sear, and sear the shit out of both sides of it and let it rest. Put a lot of seasoning on it. It's going to need it. You're probably looking at about a 45-minute cook. Best damn tri-tip of your life. Let's go.
There it is.
Hey, good blog post.
Let's go and slide into the. I guess we're going to go pay some bills, and then we're going to slide into Frank. I think Frank's got a couple of questions he's going to answer for the listeners.
Let's go.
You know, smoking meats isn't just cooking. It's an art form. The aroma, those deep flavors, the patience, it's a whole experience.
And behind every great artist, there's the right set of tools. If you're aiming to build your own barbecue pit or dreaming of a custom design tailored just for you, SmokerBuilder.com has your back.
Led by Frank Cox, their expertise is unmatched. Offering blueprints, kits, and insights, they turn every barbecue dream into a flavorful reality.
Imagine your backyard, the center of attention, and at the heart of it, a smoker that's uniquely yours.
It's more than just equipment. It's about crafting those unforgettable moments. And with the guidance of Frank and his team, you're setting the stage for magic.
So whether you're a seasoned pitmaster or taking your first steps into the smoky world,
head over to SmokerBuilder.com, fill up your carts, and be sure to use the promo code GRABTHEBRISKET in all caps to receive your 10% discount. Smoke on.
threw down some ribs last night, used the Chicks That Smoke spicy rub, mind blown.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. Like the Chicks That Smoke spicy barbecue all-purpose rub, dude, it is a game changer for sure.
Yeah, if you folks have not given it a shot, you need to.
Honestly, your barbecue will thank you.
Chicks That Smoke, it's at SUCKLEBUSTERS.com.
You know, whether it's a casual backyard grilling session or high-pressure world barbecue competition, one thing's certain. The drink by your side needs to be ice cold.
Absolutely, and that's where Yeti coolers come in. Every time I'm grilling in my backyard, I trust Yeti to keep things cold.
And in the midst of barbecue competitions, with all that heat and intensity, Yeti's a game changer, ensuring those drinks stay chilled.
So whether you're perfecting the burger flip or aiming for barbecue gold, Yeti's got your back. Here's to cooler moments, no matter where you grill.
Cheers.
Hey, you there. We've got a question for you. Are you tired of clickbait stories and the loudest voices driving discussions in culture and entertainment?
If so, I'm Dylan.
I'm Kendall.
And I'm Corey. And we host the podcast From the Middle. We're middle-class guys living in the middle of America, in the middle chapters of our lives with points of view somewhere in the middle.
We take a more reasonable and centrist approach in our discussions covering genres like comedy, culture, entertainment, and interviews with really interesting folks like business owners, comic creators, doctors, news anchors, New York Times best-selling illustrators, professional stand-up comics, and more. We really value a relaxed and conversational podcast, one that we hope is so fun and laid back, you'll forget you're not actually hanging out with us.
So search at From the Mid Pod, just like it sounds, or check us out everywhere you can find podcasts.
Hey guys, Frank Cox here, the barbecue pit engineer, and I'm back with another episode of Frank Knows What's Wrong with It. So, doing this from my truck because I'm driving down actually to pick up barrels for my drum smoker, and I'm going to go visit John. Well, John had a question from his mama, and he wanted me to answer. It's a refrigeration related question. So I hope this helps somebody out there that's got a question like this. So she's complaining of like a bad flavor in her ice whenever she's getting ice out of her refrigerator. And you know, it's not a refrigeration problem necessarily. It's actually a water related problem. What typically causes this is going to be either something was done to the ice maker, like cleaning it or something like that, and there's a residual bad flavor from that. Or it could be that there's a taste and odor filter inside that ice maker or the water filter inside the fridge, and that taste and odor filter is expired, and so it's not pre-treating another flavor issue that's coming from the water lines or the city water or something like that. You can get these filters anywhere at like Lowe's, Menards, any kind of thing like that, Amazon, whatever. And these filters have carbon in them, and what they do is the water has to pass through this filter before it goes into the ice maker and fills the trays. So that will take out things like the chlorine flavor or any kind of additives that the water company's putting in. Some plastic lines, like plastic water lines, are not lined with, there's like a glass, they call it a glass liner. For instance, beverage tubing, like soda systems and stuff like that. They have a liner that prevents that plasticky taste from coming into the water as it's going through that line and sitting in that line waiting to fill up the ice maker again. So anyway, that's my advice. If your filter in your fridge for whatever reason is not compatible with a taste and odor filter, you can get one and put it under the sink or somewhere near that refrigerator where that water line comes from, and that will treat any city-borne or well water related flavor issues of any kind. Taste and odor filter, that's what that's called. You can get the housing and everything. So anyway, guys, if you've got any question about food related stuff, be it restaurants or barbecue trailers or just your pit that you're cooking on at home, whatever it is, I'm here to help you. Frank knows what's wrong with it. Just ask the Brisket boys. They got the phone number here, or you can hit them on social media and ask them your question. They'll get it to me and I'll answer it on one of these episodes. Appreciate you. Have a great day.
Frank does know.
Just ask Frank.
Like, he does know. Like, it's not even like a thing, right? It's not a shtick. Everybody has, like, every show has a shtick, right? Like, a thing.
I try telling people, like, you can just ask anything to Frank.
This is not a thing. This dude is probably one of the smartest human beings when it comes to barbecue. Like, he just knows.
I want to know, though, was he driving down the shoulder? Was he hitting those
bumps? 100%.
Does it sound like he was was he going off road there?
Well, I think he has just a big
you could see it in the video.
I think he's got a solid dually.
No, it's a big truck.
Big giant trailer.
He's got a huge trailer. He's picking up like 100+ barrels, and he's taking it back, and he's reproducing badass pit barrels.
Yeah.
I mean, he knows what he's doing.
You know, I put a bunch of raw shrimp in my freezer, and all my ice tastes like shrimp. You know, why, Frank? Why is that?
Why is that, Frank?
Why is that happening?
That's because you mixed your shrimp with inside your ice machine.
First of all, you got to not be dumb.
Yeah.
And
Step one.
Shout out to Frank. So when he was here in town,
we went and had dinner with him
to pick up the barrels. We went and had dinner with him.
He had the best fajitas of his life. We took him to Emma's and here in Pearland. And if you're not familiar with Emma's is a local restaurant that we have here. They're not the most popular, right? By any far, they're not the most popular. It's a beautiful restaurant. They do great. They do a great job of putting out the same food every time. But their fajitas are so freaking good. Like, they may have the best fajitas I've ever had.
I think it's the best fajitas, best margaritas.
Oh, the margaritas.
Killer.
You cannot even... Listen, there's no restaurant in town putting up with those margaritas, right? But I will say, my boy, bro, what just happened?
Bro, what's happening?
We just hit a 3-run home run.
Let's go.
We're watching
Astros.
the Astros right now.
Astros just hit it. We couldn't see
This
it.
episode's not going to come out to the Astros win the World Series, but here
we couldn't see
don't
it,
jinx
but
it.
there it is.
Yeah.
No, I just think that I can't remember, what was I saying before this?
Well, you got to taste the Emma's and then,
Emma's. Oh my God, dude!
By the way, can we put out our own?
He will listen. I'll tell you right now. He will go home, and there's a moment where he's like, no, it's not really like a really busy restaurant. When that food came out and he started eating, he was like, okay.
Hey,
This might be the best. Right. So
very excited and glad to see him again. He loaded up a shit ton of those 55-gallon drums, and he's heading back
Super
home.
55s.
Super 55. So he's going to get those ready for the pending orders that he has and future orders. So definitely hit up smokerbuilder.com. I think we got another question from Frank. Let's go and hear that.
Hey guys, Frank Cox here. I'm the Barbecue Pit Engineer, and I'm back with another episode of Frank Knows What's Wrong With It. So I'm driving down the road here, and I got a few minutes, so I decided to answer a question from Alan Breisinger. I hope I said your name right because I'm trying to remember it. But anyway, he asked about his wood whenever he's using a cheap Oklahoma Joe or some kind of a box store offset. And whenever he adds wood to his fire, it puts off some like really heavy blue or kind of borderline white gray smoke whenever he adds a log to it, and he's trying to figure out how to mitigate that. And so here's what I would do if I was you, Alan. All you got to do is preheat your wood. That's 99% of the issue, is that you're putting a cold log in that firebox. And when you do that, the first thing we have to do is heat that wood up to the point of combustion. Also, if there's any moisture or resin or anything like that in the wood, for instance, it's not seasoned wood, like 8% or lower moisture content, it's going to have to basically boil off. It's going to have to turn all of that into water vapor, and then it's going to have to boil that out of that wood first in an effort to dry it further so that the wood can actually catch on fire, up until the point where the wood is heated up enough to where most of that work is done, drying out that wood and getting it hot enough to combust. Up until that point, it's going to smolder and kind of be white smoke, blue smoke, heavy blue smoke, that kind of thing. One thing that you asked in your question was, would it help if you left your door open longer when you added that wood? And yes, absolutely. But basically, that's just going to make your coal bed get hotter and maintain a hotter air temperature inside the firebox. Some of that heat is going to escape out the door of your firebox, which will make it not overheat in the cook chamber. So that's a good solution too. But if you always have a log or 2 logs on top of your firebox or even inside the cooking chamber, preheating to the point, like for 30 minutes or whatever, to the point where it's time to add that on, you'll actually pre-treat that situation before you put the wood on, and it'll instantly catch on fire when you add it to on top of your coal bed. So anyway, I hope that helped you. Guys, if you have a question for me, just like Alan did here, feel free to send it in. Look at somewhere on here, the Brisket Boys will tell you that phone number, or they'll read it to you when this is over. Make sure you get that phone number or message them or whatever and give me your questions. I'll answer it. See ya.
This guy has the answers. He has the tools. And he's been doing it all of his life, not just in smoking, not just in like barbecue pits. By the way, it's his passion. It's more of like his entire career. Give us your best question. Let's just answer it for you.
Yeah.
And we definitely do what he mentioned too about putting the logs on the firebox or even inside of it away from the fire just to kind of
just warming. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. You got to watch out for these when you go to like the academies and the Walmarts or whatever, and you're getting that just prepackaged wood, the B&Bs and some of that stuff that it's dry kilned. So it just, for me, I whenever I've used that type of wood, it does produce that kind of white, smoky flavor, that billow of smoke until it really just ignites and goes. So that definitely a pro tip from Frank there. You got to heat that wood up first, put it in there, it'll ignite, and you'll be good to go.
Yeah, no white smoke.
I thought you were going somewhere with that.
Nope, that's it.
No white smoke?
Nope, that's it.
All right, and this brings us to the topic of the day. Let's go.
Let's go. What are we doing?
So I heard the other day, this is something that kind of piqued my interest. It's something that I've kind of like have been playing around with when cooking briskets, and it comes down to how long your meat is in the stall.
Yeah.
And it has a really huge impact on what your finishing internal temperature is going to be for your brisket.
So
does that make sense?
So break it down. So I hear what you're saying, but I want you to break it down one more time. Say it again, but
really quick. Really quick. It's like when you cook low and slow, like 225-ish for all day.
Yeah.
Your finishing temperature is going to be like 195. But if you cook hot and fast, hot temperatures,
205.
You got to go 205. Sometimes you got to go a little bit higher than that, depending on the cut of the meat. But for the just simple, just break it down just a little bit, so that when you do low and slow, your meat stays in that stall for a long period of time.
You're roasting it, but what is the temperature for low and slow?
I'm going to say anywhere from like 225 to maybe 250 I wouldn't go anything above 250 for.
So I think 250 is almost like a hot and fast.
Correct. Yeah.
Like this is like a 225, 240, 235 temperature that you're going to maintain the entire time. Yeah.
Right.
You're talking about, it's a 14-hour cook.
Yeah. But this right here is like, it's really kind of just, it's not really indicative of what temperatures you're cooking at, but it's how long you stay in that stall, because there's a reason why a lot of people cook hot and fast, because it pushes through that stall as quickly as possible. And then you wrap, and then
Sorry, I'm
tender,
yawning.
and
And I didn't mean to yawn. But you're exactly right. So there's a moment where you're cooking that way, right? But the temperature of the brisket has not. Yes, it may be hot, but but it hasn't broken down.
correct.
And that's how you know, right? That's the difference between a brisket's been cooked really hot, really fast, and it may look really good. It may be, they may have rested it. But on those type of briskets, I think they require a lot more rest. So it's not go to your cooler and put it in for 3 hours and start trimming it. I think you're not gonna have the same brisket had you gone 12 hours. So like those whole meat warmers or your oven or the meat swaddle, right? No, so the meat swaddle is great, but it doesn't trap your brisket and keep it. It's like for carrying, right?
Yeah,
you carry it from whatever. Yeah, you want the same temperature, 100% carry it in there. I'm just saying that this is a moment where, like, this is what separates the good from the bad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, I get you 100%. It's I've tasted briskets that were cooked hot and fast, and it was pull apart. You can see
Yeah,
it
you
pulling
can
apart.
pull it.
But you bite into
It's a
it, and it's
texture
just a
thing.
very dense, just mouthful.
Yeah.
You pull it apart. It's definitely not.
How's the flavor?
The flavor's good. Flavor's usually good.
Yeah.
So the texture's a little bit different than a low and slow type brisket.
Have you noticed right now when doing a brisket like that, and you notice the texture for like a brisket you did, maybe a slower brisket, like at 225, right? It diminishes when you cook one that low, it diminishes the seasoning because it's had so much time to marry together, right? That you don't get the pop, right? It's all blended, and you don't get that pop of like, oh my god, like it's too salty. Or it's this. All you get is like it's really good, but you need a wow factor, right? You need.
So when you're doing low and slower, you're making sure you're hitting with a little finishing dust at the end or something like that.
100%.
Yeah.
So that was the next thing right there. So if you're not getting down with a finishing salt or a finishing seasoning, there's something wrong with you. And I'll tell you what we do is that we actually grind. We'll grind up seasoning in a coffee grinder or something else that we can make it down to almost like a baby powder, and we'll pinch and we'll just top the top, right?
Drizzle.
Just
Drizzle
drizzle
on
the top, right? Pop, pop, pop. I'm sure right now it makes the world of distance. It makes a world of difference.
Yeah.
Distance. Huh. Who says that?
Go
You know,
the
I've
distance.
never had an issue with stalls, and I think it's because I went to the James Moore School of Brisket Cooking.
Yeah,
to
the
where
hot and fast.
It's hot and fast,
Yeah.
and then usually when you hit, you'd be hitting the stall, it's already wrapped up. So it's kind of like just
pushes through it.
Yeah, it just pushes right through that stall. So
That's why it's probably the best method to cook a brisket.
So so what I've been doing lately, I've been experimenting, and it's nothing I created.
Not you.
But I'll start cooking
could
the
have been
brisket. Maybe I did. I don't
Maybe
know.
you know what? You
did
did
create
do
it.
it, James.
So I'll start cooking the brisket around 275-ish. I don't want to do 250. 250-ish, somewhere in there. I don't want to do 275, 300 because
Nobody
can
does.
it
char
cooks
it.
too quickly.
Disgusting.
And I want that outside to develop that bark.
Yep.
So
Who doesn't?
I'll do 250, and I'll cook it for probably about 6 to 8 hours. And then when it gets to about the 170 mark, somewhere in that 180, where you think it's like in the stall or fixing to do whatever, that's when I go to wrap it. The color looks beautiful. That's when I go to wrap it. And then here's what I do. I drop the temperature back down to 225. Usually this is something that I can go.
That's a pro move.
I can go right into the oven because it's wrapped, or I can go right into a if you have a pellet smoker, or if you have some type of electric smoker that you can throw down there that you can. You don't want to maintain.
I don't want to maintain this. I want to go to bed.
You want to put that thing down. So I do it to 225. I put the probe in there, and then basically it just makes it stay in that stall for probably about 5 hours or so, and then it'll start pushing out of it. And this is something that I've kind of struggled with. I kept, like, the first time I did it, I cooked it to 205. It was tender as hell. It was just a little too fall apart like. And then the next time I did it, I was like, okay, maybe I got to dial it back a little bit. So I did 200.
Delicious.
And it was delicious. It was juicy, just still a little bit fall apart. So I was like, I got to, and this is where I kind of learned, okay, the longer it's in the stall, my next go around, I'm going to go about 195. I'm going to pull and just see where that's at. See if we can get that money spot.
So you should not be cooking to 205 when you're doing that. You should cook to 195. If you're going to leave in a stall or leave in a warmer for anything over like 6 hours, then you need to push past. You need to lower your temperature as far as what you're pulling it at, and pull it at 195. And then you need to run 6 hours at this, 150, 160, because it's still cooking at that point, and it's still gaining steam. It's just, is it good or not, right? It's money.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's one little thing that I learned over the weekend, or that I saw somebody do a video over it, and I was like, well, shit, that's what I've been doing. That's what I've been experiencing on the last couple of brisket cooks that I've been doing. So I was like, and I'll tell you right now.
Anything? Well, somebody stole your idea?
Maybe somebody did.
Oh, my God, James.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't know if they didn't steal my idea. This is something that's kind of like known out there.
I know what you mean, though, because the last time I was cooking a brisket, I did the hot and fast method, and I pulled it when I was wrapping and put it in the oven to maintain it. But I think I did take it in the oven to like 205 or whatever it was.
Yeah,
so it did come out good, but it was just kind of like falling apart. Yeah. Now everybody who was eating it liked it.
It's very roasty.
Everybody liked it who was eating
like,
it. But I was kind of like, I wanted that to hold up a little bit better, Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you right now, I did this out of convenience. Because I wanted to sleep. So this is my timetables, guys. Listen up. Get your pen and paper out there. Let's go and write this down.
Hey, the best brisket of your life. Here he goes.
Roughly around 3 to 4.
You say you ROM'd it, rough order of magnitude. You're like, roughly.
Well,
no.
It's give or take.
We want precise stuff. How long, James?
Okay, so
3:35.
Yes.
4 o'clock.
4 o'clock in the morning.
Brisket's on. No. We're
4 o'clock in the afternoon.
You get off work. I get off work at 3:30.
No, I'm asking. Listen, you don't have to backdrop.
Here's my timetable. You keep busting my balls on like
listen,
what times.
I don't want to backdrop. I just want to hear what you're doing.
I'll give you hours.
If you say 4 p.m., boom. I say 4. Okay, at 4 p.m. he gets off work. He comes home and he does this. Go.
Okay, 4 p.m. I usually get my briskets ready. I start my fire.
Yep.
By 6 p.m. the brisket's going on. It's going to
so
smoke from 6 p.m. to midnight. That's 6 hours. Usually I'm roughly at 250 degrees. It's from 6 p.m.
You start at 6 p.m.
6 p.m. to midnight. That's 6 hours of smoke time. Usually we're roughly around the 170, 180 mark. Color looks beautiful.
Yeah.
This is the time that I'm sleepy and I'm tired and I want to go to bed. So
your body gave out. You're like, I can't take it anymore.
This is where I wrap it.
I got too much alcohol in my system.
Yeah. This is where you can play around with it, but this is where I wrap it. This is where I probe it.
Yeah.
It goes into the oven at 225 degrees, and I set an
and
alarm.
You're done.
And I'm done. I go to bed. Usually the alarm pops at 4 to 5 a.m.
Hey, do you get up and go check the door?
I go there. I turn the oven off, and then I go back to bed. Dude. And you just let it rest.
You let
it coast.
Okay.
And when you get up around, 8.
Yeah. He goes, get up around 8?
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a real thing or like if people actually do that.
Throw it in a cooler. You can pull it out. You can throw it in the cooler
Yeah.
and just, be sure to wrap it up. You're not throwing these when I say wrap it up, make sure you're putting a full pan if you're doing it in the oven.
Yeah. Catch those juices.
we don't want that juice just getting all over that oven, catching a fire to the house.
Yeah.
Are there any pellet smokers that you can get to just hit a certain time or temp and just cut off?
Maybe
just to turn off. Like once it hits it just cuts off. I don't know if that's a setting you can
I think they put a timer on it, but I think it's like more for you to like, hey, get your
I want
shit
one.
together.
But then to if you could somehow eliminate having to wake up at like 4 o'clock.
No, there's nobody going
If
to
there's a
eliminate
way
that.
just to
no, there's
just
not.
cut it.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I'm sure you can get like a Raspberry
not the way.
Pi, and you can probably program
Yeah,
something
that's what I'm
to where
talking about.
it'll just
Raspberry
cut
Pi?
out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Little computer. Yeah, I like
Hey,
that.
where did the
We're gonna develop this, okay?
did we-
Trademark,
we-
grabbing the brisket.
Did y'all let all the food go, or where did all that?
Food's gone, Jan.
your chips and dip you brought over?
I got something better for you.
Yeah,
We got the grabbing the brisket.
there it is.
Beer review.
Ba, ba, ba.
You guys hear how good that harmony was without John being here?
I know John is the worst,
I
right?
feel like he's bringing it down.
Okay, I do have to go.
To the little girl's room? Go ahead. All right, James, what did you bring us today?
All right, so I mean, obviously, I'm donning the
The
Martin House
the
rip.
Martin House shirt here.
go.
So we definitely had to pick up one of the Martin House brews. This is the toucan sleeve that I picked up over at our local HEB. Let the people know what we got here.
We got the Queen de Minthe, a whiskey barrel-aged mint stout. I'm kind of looking forward to this because every time there's one of these boxes with the two cans in it from Martin House, I'm always questioning it based on what that is,
Yeah.
like what they describe it as, and then it ends up being good.
Yeah.
So I have high expectations. But
Yeah.
they say Queen de Minthe is a whiskey barrel-aged imperial stout brewed with mint, chocolate, lactose, marshmallows, and vanilla. We hope you enjoy this liquid mint cookie. So I'm immediately expecting this to be like a mint Girl Scout cookie.
Can we just?
right?
It's been a minute. There's your
a thin mint.
drink out here, Jan.
Yeah, thin mint.
It's been a minute since we've done a stout. It seems like we've been just on this train of just we've done a lot of them. And then we're like, okay, we're tired of it. And then, so we
Okay, I just smelled it.
That smells
Dude.
like a Girl Scout thin mint for sure.
Hey,
Can
can,
we-
you just
can we get a-
can you just think hey we talked about this earlier. What do you think they use to make this the mint portion of it? Obviously, they have to go to the restaurant supply company or wherever they get their ingredients in
Yeah.
bulk. What do you think they use to make the mint, the chocolate? Are they just buying
it's
like
mint.
mint extracts?
It's a mint,
And then
bro.
just going
yeah,
in there with-
100%.
okay.
They're doing
Yeah,
that.
but you say a mint. I want you to get a little more detailed. Jan.
Listen,
okay, what kind of mint?
All I want to know right now is when I smell this, all I think about is me like walking my dog down the street and some kid pulls up, like her and her parents, and like it's some like 5-year-old kid wearing like a sash, right?
Okay.
And it's like, hey, we got Girl Scout cookies. I'm like, give me some of those thin mints, right? That's what I'm thinking right now. This thing is.
We're gonna go
It
in there for
smells like it should taste. I just don't know how it tastes. You know.
Taste it. Give it a taste.
All right, here it is. It smells good. I just don't want to drink it. I think it's gonna ruin it. You know what I mean?
You think it's not gonna be as
It's
good
not
as
gonna
it
be as
smells?
good as it smells. This smells phenomenal. What is this again?
Like what kind?
Yeah.
Whiskey barrel aged
This is the Queen de
mint.
Mint
Queen de
whiskey barrel aged mint stout.
Mint. It's a lot smoother than I thought it was gonna be.
Let's see.
I think Martin House has been on the kick lately of
Very
like
smooth.
very smooth whiskey barrel aged beers.
Oh, this is like. I feel like I just had whiskey. You know what I mean?
It's like it's just like really alcoholic thin mint.
It's a very like
what it
high
tastes like.
alcohol. It tastes very high alcoholic. Alcohol. Dude, it's 12%. No wonder why, bro. This thing is 12%. This is like there's like bottles of wine that are 6%.
I like it. I'm taking
Yeah,
it. Yeah,
of course you are.
It's
You're an
smooth.
alcoholic, James.
Yeah, I love.
Can't-
Yeah, it's more kind of like Andy's thin mint. It's more
That-
like
yeah,
I feel
no,
like
Scout
Andy's.
cookie.
I hear that. Yeah, no,
Thin
I hear
mint.
that. Yeah. What's the one where they had the commercial where they ski, right? It's always cold.
Isn't that the Andy mints? Because it's the
Those
Andes Mountain.
Andes?
No, that's the peppermint York patties.
Yeah, the York patties.
I think
bro.
this is more of an Andes.
No,
this
is
tastes
this
just
is,
like
this
Andes
is a
mints to
York
me.
patty. I'm telling you, this is a York patty.
Jan, I want to do an oddball here and have you go first on this rating.
Ready?
Jan, go first.
Well, the alcohol is amazing. 20 out of fucking 20. Honestly, I
It's like Rick James, like, what was like, cocaine's a hell of a drug.
it is, by the way.
That Queen of Mints are a hell of a beer.
But honestly, man, this is a good beer. This is not the best beer. This beer is, it's a 5.5.
Whoa.
Damn, that's very low.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a 5.5.
Yeah.
Listen, it's a novelty beer. Like, I could drink one. There's no way in hell I'm going to the store and going, hey, give me a twofer. Let me, hey, I already know I got to drink one, but now I got to drink two. Nah, that ain't happening.
To me, I
That's
never
not
never
happening.
judge it based on could I drink a 6-pack
No.
of it or not. You know, like to me, this is like a
Could you sip
No,
on?
it's-
Could you just enjoy?
yeah. This is just
a-
like
This
yeah.
is a tasty beer. I'm just saying, this is not the beer. This is not the beer.
I tell you what, if I just had a nice like pasta that I made at home,
Yeah.
and I want to sit back and just drink
Get
one of these,
Andy's
sip on it,
Mint.
like you know what I mean, finishing my meal. I feel like this is a perfect after dinner meal. Like
It is.
you know what I mean, beer.
In a small glass.
Yeah.
It's like maybe in like when I say glass, I said glass, right? Like real glass. But this is a beer that should be.
Nobody's
like,
saying you even have to drink the whole can. You can split this with
is
somebody. I know it
so-
sounds crazy, but you
This
can do
is
it.
so barrel aged in whiskeyed, dude. This thing is like, it's like a shot of fucking. What's wrong with you? Like,
It's a perfect after dinner drink.
okay, there it is.
I see.
Hey, you heard it here
I'm gonna
first.
go ahead and rate it right now. I'm
Yeah.
giving this
Yeah.
an
Oh
8.7.
my god.
I
No,
like
I
this
like
one
that
a lot,
score. I
and
like
and
that score.
I it was lower when I had the first sip. The more I drink it, the better it's getting.
James, I'm like on the edge right now. I just want to know what you're fixing to say. How good is this beer?
I almost was like Jan. Like,
Don't be on-
this is like a breakfast beer with the mint.
It's not a breakfast beer.
With the mint, and you basically you
Disgusting.
just brush your teeth, and you really don't care. No, I'm just kidding. I like this. I like the chocolate mint combo.
Yeah.
I like the fact that it's barrel aged. You get a little bit of that whiskey, that
No, it's not a
pop
little bit. You
of
get a
alcohol
mouthful
on
of
the back
whiskey.
end.
A mouthful of whiskey, and you're like, well,
I love it. Hey,
what's next?
you had your piece?
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
You're right,
All
you're right,
All
you're right,
Let me
you're
let me
right.
get into mine. I think Matt is right there where I am. But I'm gonna go 9.0.
There
I
you
like
go.
it.
Good score.
Solid.
Good score.
I will buy this again, and I will like
Yeah.
Matt. Just like what Matt said, this is something that I could just on a either just an after meal drink, just sip on it,
Just sip.
and that's it.
Yeah.
Money.
I don't have any problem with sipping. Drinking it was very harsh.
Jen, you don't have to chug it. Okay, that's what we're trying to tell you. You don't have to slam this beer. You can just enjoy it.
No,
Sit
I
there.
drink this beer the way I drink every beer.
You're like,
I'm never gonna
stabbing
do
it with
any-
my key,
exactly.
and I'm chugging it.
I'm
Okay,
chugging the shit. I'm never gonna do anything different because you know why? That's the way I
I
fucking
can't
drink
chug
beer.
a 12% beer.
Fuck yeah, you can. I just did a second ago. I just drank the whole damn thing.
Okay,
You have
All
stuff
right.
in yours?
Is breakfast beer a real thing?
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's a real thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
Real
yeah.
thing, yeah.
Hey, honestly, it may be the best.
Hey,
beer.
when you've waken up and you have a brisket going at like 2:00 in the morning,
No.
and 8:00 rolls around, you've already been awake for 6 hours. You're allowed to have your breakfast beer. Okay,
Yeah,
you can have the breakfast beer.
but I think the breakfast beer was a different beer, right? It was a beer that just resonated with like you can drink that.
Well, for me,
you
that's
can
a,
drink that
for
in
me
the
that's a
morning time.
Rodler. A Rodler.
So there,
That's a breakfast beer.
okay, like honestly, we're driving to work, right? We're all driving to work. You're in your car, I'm in my car. There's a point where you're like, well, I don't want to drink that. I should probably have a coffee or another drink or whatever else because alcohol just seems vile right now, right? There's a moment you think that. However, there's always that moment where you drink a drink, right? And you're like, is that have alcohol in it? That's my new breakfast beer, right?
Well, I'm not drinking like a Coors
that-
Light in the morning like that. I'm not waking up and having that. So I don't. What is that? What you want? Is like sometimes you're like, I just wish I had a Coors
No.
Light right now.
No, I
So what
want
is that
a-
breakfast beer to you?
It's got to be savory. It's got to be sweet. It's got to be. It's more of a. I think Saloon Door does a better job with it because they put out the beers that are
So you like their stouts? You're talking about a stout for breakfast,
right? First of all, if you're not thinking about a stout to go to work in the morning, there's something wrong with you.
Oh yeah, right. yeah. Then my bad. My bad.
You're not trying. You're not trying to ruin your life.
And you're not an alcoholic.
If you're not drinking a 12% barrel aged whiskey beer first thing in the morning,
there's something wrong with you.
Yeah. I'll go ahead and put a disclaimer out there. Breakfast beers usually only pertain to
That's not true.
Cook-offs and barbecuing and tailgating.
Yeah. It also happens after
hunting.
After like
hunting. Hunting is hunting.
Yes. And hunting. It also happens after, I don't know, like 5 o'clock.
But I did see there was a scientific study that was put out there. I don't know. It's probably the Men's Journal. Probably a nice publicated scientific magazine.
It was publicated
or website, but did say that drinking beer in the morning is probably the best time to drink beer.
The Australians, you
burn it off.
The fucking Australians have it right.
You burn it off. You have time for your body to break it down and get the toxins out and all that stuff like that. Instead of just like you just go to sleep.
Yeah, right. Aussie.
Oi.
There it is. Bro, don't even think like you didn't know.
I think Germany whenever I say that. I don't think of Australia when you say that.
Oh, really? Well, that's weird.
All right. Let's conclude the Grabbing the Brisket
beer review.
I think we need to work on that because I think everybody tries to go into that. What's the baritone? I think everybody tries to hit that baritone. You got like 3-4 baritones just trying to go down.
Maybe it's just us three.
Somebody's going to go high.
And John makes it better every single time he does it.
Yeah, somebody's going to go Michael Jackson. Just
maybe John goes high every single time. I'm just saying.
I don't think he can talk high.
You don't even know what John's doing right now. He's at his house. Yeah. What is John doing? Hey,
he's not having fun with us.
Listen, guys. I want to hear like maybe I don't know like.
That's a new segment. What is John doing?
5 things. What is John doing, right? Just give us your best. What is John doing? Put it on the hotline. What is the hotline number?
I don't have that number in front of me, but it is flashing in front of the screen for you.
Okay. It's on the screen. If it's not, someone's going to look up for you if you don't have a screen to see it. But what is John doing? Does John even care? Let's just see what John's doing, okay?
This is a perfect segue to see and listen and hear what our new barbecue winner or fail is. So let's hear that.
Okay, so the winner or fail has no audio. It's just video.
Okay, so we'll have to narrate it.
Where have you been the last
All right, we got a video and there is no audio, so we're going to narrate it for you if you're not watching on YouTube. Right. Okay, so he's throwing down some ribs. Okay. Poking
it. Hang some beef ribs.
Who is this?
I didn't see what that sauce was. Ooh, 1836.
So we've done that before. Yeah,
sauce.
We've hit that. You need more seasoning.
Yeah, that looked like it could use more seasoning.
Yeah, way more seasoning. Like you're missing it, bro. If you listen, you're gonna hang it, but if you're gonna hit this thing,
caught fire. Oh no! Oh, it just literally caught fire. Went in the trash. Mission failed. It looked like so good to start.
Honestly, this is like probably the best video.
Wait, so why did it catch fire like that? What? How did it just catch in flames?
Pork is greasy.
That was beef.
That was beef ribs.
Beef is greasy.
I don't know. Something else was going on.
No,
did
100%.
the seasoning catch fire or something?
No,
I think it's just. I think his fire just got too hot.
I think he had a party.
I just never. I've seen you burn stuff. I've never seen a rack of ribs literally on fire.
I got this.
Well, see that particular cooking apparatus. If we can go back, can we play that again, bro?
Apparatus.
Jesus. Like that.
Oh, that's one of those like ones that like really
if I thought
it collapses, like the bottom of it, it can close down. So I'm wondering if he closed it down too far where it just got too close to the fire.
Nope.
Or did he get drunk?
Just watch it, James.
Did he drink too much and forget about it?
No. Was that a barbecue sauce that he put on there to begin with? What was that?
It's Worcestershire sauce.
That's that.
So
W.
this thing drops down.
That's W. See how lower it is?
Oh yeah, because it did look like it got lower.
Oh no. That's see-through.
You know what? Hey, you should have ate that anyway. That's why I say.
No, honestly, I think it's somebody that's going, you know what? I got it. tonight
see
is
the
my
caption,
night.
though?
Hey, tonight is my night.
The caption says when you get caught watching a Disney movie.
Yeah.
I'm assuming it says. I'm assuming that says like with your daughter or something like that.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
assuming
what-
this dude's not just watching a Disney movie on his own.
You're 100%. You're correct.
See, click on that.
But this is the night where he goes, "Hey, I'm gonna go ham
I
for a
can't.
little."
It's a video.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
We can't
Hey,
do that.
listen, this guy is like, I got this, no big deal. This is the craziest thing in my life. My kid, this, that, boom. But watch him go through the motion. I mean, can't help feel like you can't help but like feel. I don't know, like
I'd help you out, but I have no idea where you're going.
Yeah, he said. I mean,
no, you don't have to help me out. I just think that.
I think there's a lot of
maybe
there's a
you
lot
do,
of anger
actually,
involved with him purchasing meat and just like going
Well, that's not
straight
that's
to the
not
pit
the take
into the
no,
trash.
that's not the take. The take is more of like, bro, you knew better. You knew better.
He just he just forgot about it. That's all
Yeah.
that happened. He forgot. He caught
Maybe
on fire,
maybe
hit
it was
the side.
instructed incorrectly. Like maybe his neighbor. Like all you gotta do is just put it on there, drop it down, and you set it
He
and
knew.
forget it.
No.
You set it and forget it. You don't even have to
Dude,
check it for hours.
if you look at
and
the
it comes
pit,
back for
the pit's
hours and
legit.
it's like charcoal.
That pit is legit.
Yeah, but I'll
He
tell you
knew.
what, and you know what? Those beef ribs weren't cheap either.
No, I
That's
know.
the sad thing
No,
about
I
that.
know. Yeah,
That's not some $8
Honestly,
rack of pork ribs. That's
You're right. You're right, Matt. Because honestly, that dude put out. He put out. Like it's not his fault. Like he put out.
anyway. Do we know who? Do we?
I mean, when you
Who is
say-
that? Is it Smoke Point Q?
When you say it
Smoke
like
Point
that,
Q?
it's weird.
I think it's something that John found on TikTok.
Okay, we'll have a link to down below, or we'll tag him
Yeah.
in the video. John will do his thing, but Jan, what obviously the guy was using the 1835, 1836,
36. Yeah.
SUCKLEBUSTERS. So,
Yeah.
but also you're going to win another.
Suckabusters. Everybody wants some Suckabusters.
And I feel like you should get the 1836 in honor of that video. You know what I mean?
Honestly, I should. And it's a good seasoning.
Or the Chicks
really
of Smoke.
is.
You can get the Chicks of Smoke
You
as
could.
well. Try that out.
do whatever
Maybe
you want.
it's not as flammable as the other seasoning.
Well, that's not true. that is not true. We have no idea. But we're mad scientists. We have no idea how our seasoning actually affect fire. Okay.
Yeah.
So
I see a lot of like hodgepodge people out there trying to find different stuff to light on fire to
goes
use
hodgepodge.
as fire starters.
Yeah.
So now the biggest thing is Doritos.
Doritos.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, here's
just
your
a
chip.
handful of Doritos. You light that on fire. That's your fire starter.
Hey, Alfregoni made that possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what else? Like the cushion in my couch.
Yeah.
Light
Hey.
that on fire. Or I go into crackers.
Now
I'm gonna
we're
burn
all
crackers
magicians.
Now. Yeah.
Now we're all magicians. We got like click, boom, boom.
I'm just gonna bust open a can of beans
Yeah.
and just dump it on the grill, and I'm just get a big giant torch and just like it's like now we got flames. I'm like, come on, man.
Hey, guess what? Even concrete burns, motherfuckers.
Hey guys, if you have a chance and you don't have anything going on, go
Yeah.
slide on to the Grabbing the Brisket website. Go check out our YouTube channel. Go check out the Spotify playlist. The actual, and I got this earlier today. I was like, hey, where can I see your podcast, or where can I listen to your podcast? And I'm like, hey, it's everywhere, bro. Like
You
just
can listen anywhere and YouTube for the video.
I think I just tell everybody and this is me because I'm just in that mindset
don't
of
know.
just Googling.
You just wanna
I'd like just Google
hit it.
Google Grabbing the Brisket and it's gonna pop up.
Go here.
I Google myself all the time and
Whoa.
it just shows up
Hey,
like boom there.
How
there he
do we
is.
get a Wikipedia?
I think
like,
you
you have
maybe
to
just gotta
lobby?
create your own one.
You got to lobby a
probably.
Like, nah, it's not gonna happen. I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
Anyways, hey, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I think John missed a perfect night to come here and hang out and just drink barbecue with us. He didn't make it, but guess who did?
Everybody else.
Raul.
Hey.
Roll.
He made it.
I'm here. I'm always here.
Let's go, baby.
And I'm not gonna say. I'm not
I'm
gonna
not
say what
gonna
I always
say what you always
This
want me to
episode,
say.
end of the episode.
Let's go.
But hey, it's been great talking barbecue with
Let's
you.
go.
Thanks everybody. We've been great.
Cheers, guys.
As we close out, big thanks to SmokerBuilder.com and the NBBQA for their unwavering support.
Absolutely. And cheers to Barbecue News Magazine, SUCKLEBUSTERS, and Dow Strong Knives for their contributions.
And you know Yeti always has our back, and Coolie Nation ensures our drinks stay perfectly cold.
Lastly, props to Cambro Manufacturing and, of course, the Spicy Nut, the Chicks of Smoke Seasoning. Thanks to all for powering this show.
Until next time, keep smoking.